Hello everyone and welcome to Photo Finds. I'm your host, Gavin Hatch. This week we're doing a time hop episode. We're going to go back in 2012, 13, 14, 15, and 16 and see what was going on in the parks in past episodes of Photo Finds. So let's start with 2012. So over at Universal Studios Florida, we have some construction going on. This was the very early stages of the Despicable Me Minion Mayhem attraction. This attraction opened up, I believe, the very next year. I was part of the opening team for Despicable Me, and it was such a wonderful, fun experience, and it's such a cute attraction. I love it, and I still go on it every time I go to the parks, even though I've been on it who knows how many times. I've lost count because I worked on it, so I wrote it a lot, and then I of course love to ride it after it opened up as well. So this attraction is really cool, and it's so interesting. I'm a history person. I love how it replaced Jimmy Neutron, and before Jimmy Neutron it was Hanna-Barbera, and all three attractions are kind of very similar. They use the same actual ride vehicles. They've just been refurbished over the years, but of course they all have their own unique personality to them, and they're very different, but at the same time it's all in the same building. Since the park opened up in 1990, that building has not gone through a huge renovation, but it's definitely a unique attraction and so cute. Now over in the back of the park, over in 2012, we had Amity being taken out. Amity was in process of being pretty much bulldozed, literally, and flattened for Diagon Alley, which would open up in 2014, which we'll see in a few moments here. But this is really hard to look at. These construction walls were put up. This was very shortly after the attraction had closed. I think it closed down in January, but the ride itself, I think, had already been gutted and torn down, and I think they were just working on pretty much leveling the rest of Amity. So that area of the park is now, of course, Diagon Alley, and you can still meet Bruce the Shark. He's still hanging up over in the San Francisco area now to get a picture with him. He's over there, but this is just, it was a great attraction. It really was, but Diagon Alley is beautiful. Let's be real. It's a beautiful, immersive environment, and they did a great job with it, so they did replace it with something very worthy. Now let's jump to 2013. Over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, these are some pictures that were taken in 2013 of one of my favorite parades that Disney has ever done. I love the Festival of Fantasy parade. That is my favorite now, but this was, before Festival of Fantasy, this was my favorite Disney parade, next to Spectro Magic. I love Spectro Magic. But this parade is it was the Countdown to Fun parade with all the Pixar characters. So much energy, such great music, and beautiful, colorful floats, and just, again, a great array of Pixar characters and performers that every time they come out had so much energy, and I loved the interaction they would have with guests watching the parade as it came by. I just really miss this, and this is something I wish Disney could bring back some way. Now, you can kind of relive the good days of this parade back over in California Adventure at Disneyland. In California Adventure Park, they still have the Pixar Play Parade, which actually has the same soundtrack and different floats though, completely different floats, different units, same Pixar characters though. But that parade I love, and I have to see that anytime I go to Disneyland because it's just again, same type of wonderful energy, beautiful floats, great characters. You can't go wrong with Pixar. So this was something that I looking at these photos, I really miss it, and I want to listen to the music now. But if you ever got to see it in person, you know what I'm talking about. And if you never got to see it, I'm so sorry, but you can see videos of this parade here on the Attractions channel. Now, over at the Great Movie Ride, watching the past episode of Photo Finds with Kevin E from 2013, I learned something I never knew. At the Great Movie Ride, whenever the beginning of the ride starts and you have the cast members say, "Ready when you are, CB," C as in Charlie, B as in Bravo, they point up, and they point up into the rafters of the building, of the soundstage, I should say. And it's so interesting. I always thought that CB stood for like control booth, but I learned that it stands for CB DeMille, which is of course a very famous director from back in the day in Hollywood, and great work. He's done some amazing stuff that we all know and love. And I guess there is a picture, or was a picture, I'm not sure if it's still there, but before TCM took over, at least I know that it was up there now. But I learned this from Photo Finds. It's so interesting, but I never knew that that's what they were pointing and referencing to. I thought they were just talking about like the control booth or something. It's so interesting. I never knew that. It's crazy. Of all the years I've gone to Disney and how obsessed I am with Disney, I never knew that. So I love learning this. You learn something new every day. So anytime you go on that attraction and they say CB and they point up there, turn behind and see if you can find or look for this picture of CB DeMille in the load and unload area of the Great Movie Ride. Again, I'm not sure if it's still there. If you know for sure, comment below. But that is such an interesting fact. Now in 2014, over at Universal's Islands of Adventure, we can see that in March, the first week of March, they had the Green Eggs and Ham quick service location open. So you could go over here and actually grab some food. And of course, that includes the Green Eggs and Ham meal. Now, this is something that is only open seasonally, so you cannot come here every day of the year. And I haven't seen it open in quite some time. I felt like it wasn't even open during the holiday time or last summer, but I could be completely wrong. I probably am. I just didn't go to the parks, I guess, enough or go notice that. But I want to know if it's going to be open this year during spring break season, which has just started this week, actually. So I'm going to have to go pay a visit over there myself. I'll let you guys know. But this is something I've never done. I've always wanted to try, and I might have to do it during the spring break season. Yes, the parks will be crowded, and that's annoying, but it might be worth it to be able to go over there and do the Green Eggs and Ham quick service location and actually get the Green Eggs and Ham meal. So if you've tried it before, please comment below and let me know what you thought about. So tell me about that. Over at Universal Studios Florida in 2014, we had construction. This was just months before grand opening of Diagon Alley and London, part of the expansion of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and you can see these construction walls were up. Now, something that I really miss and I thought was really interesting and a lot of fun to do was if you downloaded a special Universal app, not the Universal Orlando app that they have now, a totally different app. They had these interactive posters. So when you're walking by, it was just a regular poster of attractions that you'd find in the park, such as Jurassic Park. And then you would go ahead and open up the app. It would drain your battery. So warning there, it would drain your battery, but you would go ahead and put it up to those pictures and those pictures would come to life and you could kind of walk into the pictures and kind of it'd be an interactive experience. And they had not just Jurassic Park, they had other ones for like Back to the Future and other attractions, and something I think really is a lot of fun. Maybe they stopped doing it because it drained guests' batteries a lot, and maybe, I don't know, but the Wi-Fi situation is now fine. There's free Wi-Fi all throughout the park. There used to not be free Wi-Fi, but now there is. So I wonder if they can ever bring this back in the future, integrate it maybe into some rides or some queues of attractions in the future. But this was something I kind of missed, and if you got to experience it and know what I'm talking about, again, comment below. All right, so here we go. I'm going to get sentimental here. We're going to jump to 2015. This was March of 2015, the first week of March 10th to be exact. That was the very first episode that I hosted. I did a Photo Finds as your host. So this is my first Photo Finds episode. I went to Magic Kingdom that day. I think I also went to Disney's Hollywood Studios, but this was one of the very first pictures I shared with you guys of these posts here. I forget what they call them at Disney, but I don't know. But you use them for Magic Bands to get into the parks and to use them for Fast Pass Plus. So they had these over at the Plaza Garden, and this was a viewing area. They were going to do Fast Pass Plus for the firework viewing, and that's something that has now since been discontinued, and I don't think this sign is here anymore as well. But these gardens, of course, when they got finished, it was really quite a great improvement for this area of the park, and there's still a lot of fun to just relax in and enjoy the scenery and to get some great photos of the castle. But this was one of the very first photos I shared with you guys on Photo Finds. And then in the very next week, we went to Universal Orlando and we saw some deconstruction and reconstruction of what is now the NBC Sports Grill and Brew. And it used to be the NASCAR grill. And so that was all gutted like a fish. And look at that, it's crazy. So that has since then been finished, and NBC Sports Grill and Brew is fantastic. Highly recommend going there. And then over at Universal's Islands of Adventure, we can see the construction of Skull Island Reign of Kong. Now that was finished this past summer and had a grand opening, so it's been open for a little bit now, and it's a wonderful attraction, and it's just so crazy to think that in 2015 they were just kind of in the early phases of construction there, and we had no idea what it was going to be, what was going to entail, and there was so many rumors out there about that, but it's now finished, and we know that it's just a wonderful attraction. Now, let's jump to 2016, just last year. This is what is really mind-boggling. Just a year ago, this week, look at this. They had gutted the Twister building, the soundstage that Twister had been in, and we were in the very, very early stages of Jimmy Fallon, Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon, which is now in soft openings and about to grand open in less than a month. So this is crazy how far we've come in just a short year. And over in City Walk, we had the MBA restaurant that had recently closed. This is the very early phases of the construction of what is now the Toothsome Chocolate Emporium, and this has been a very successful restaurant since it's opened up. And again, it's crazy to see that it was under construction a year ago today. It's weird. And then even weirder is the Hulk attraction. Hulk roller coaster was being taken down and disassembled. The track had been taken out and they rebuilt the track entirely and redid the launch tower, and it's now a wonderful and my favorite roller coaster at Universal. So it's crazy again. Just a year ago, everything over at Universal was under construction or being renovated, and now it's all done and we are just waiting on pretty much Jimmy Fallon to officially open. We're waiting on Volcano Bay to open, and next year, before we know it, we'll have the new Fast and Furious Supercharged attraction, which right now we don't know what type of attraction that will be, but fingers crossed that we'll have something that's really completely new that we haven't got to experience before. Well, that will do it for this week's edition of Photo Finds. I hope all of you have a great week. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Attractions Magazine, share it, comment, do all that cool, fun stuff, and stick around on the Attractions Magazine channel, though, after you're done watching this, because there's something else that you need to watch. We have a new vlogger that's going to be doing a show every Tuesday here on the Attractions Magazine channel. So now you have Photo Finds to watch on Tuesdays, as well as something called Roy Meets World. And Roy is a really fun, great guy that is going to take you to all these different parks in Orlando and just do all kinds of fun stuff. And his first episode premiered today, I should say, and it is a lot of fun. He goes to all the different parks, Disney and Universal and SeaWorld, on one day and tries to do one attraction at each park. Does he accomplish his goal? You'll have to click over there and watch it and find out, but I highly recommend going ahead and going over there and watching Roy Meets World, the new vlogger, every Tuesday, as well as Photo Finds as well. So now you have two wonderful shows to watch. Aren't you excited? I hope you are. Go ahead and go over there, watch his new vlog, and comment below. Let him know that Gavin sent you, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do, and I will see you next week. Get out, have fun, and enjoy those parks.